heavyweight boxing champion, loved by so many. And today I have my nephew, godson, Demarion Barnes, here with me. That's right, honey. And I have my niece, Eliana Harris. I'm so happy to have my godson and my niece sitting here with me today because they're the youth. This is our youth, everybody. So when we talk about gun violence, we talk about our cause. We talk about guns down, stop killing, live today. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes.
That's right. What we want and what we need in our society is to come together to stop all of the killing, the mass murders, and all of the things that's going on wrong in our life, in our society, in our world today. And if we don't make something happen right now, today, it won't look bright for our future. We know that we can't stop gun violence, but we know that if we start somewhere, we can definitely make a change and make a difference in so many people's lives. I can only speak from my personal experience. When I was 16 years old, 6 days after my 16th birthday, my brother was shot and killed in the city of Detroit due to gun violence, an attempted carjacking. That devastated my life so tremendously. And honestly, when I look back, I don't know how I was able to stand through and live through such pain. And then I automatically think to myself, it was God. God has kept me. God has carried me through. When I didn't have the vision, when I couldn't see, when I couldn't stand up straight, when I couldn't walk, I knew in my heart and in my mind, my mother always telling me that you have to be strong. And she gave me sound advice when she told me, I know you're hurting, I know your pain, because you and your big brother, it's always been you two and mommy. But you have to fight and do what your brother wants you to do, because he was never about anything weak. My brother was a fighter in the ring, and most importantly, he was a fighter in life. And our mother raised us that way. So we could not fold. We could not crumble, even when we wanted to. So through the tears, I was strong enough to be able to write Till I See You Again, release a video, and touch lives by doing that. So all these years, 23 years later, I'm still standing here. And God is so great. And my faith and my mother has kept me strong, and my family. And it shows you in life that you have to look to someone who can help you. And God is the number one. God is the only person, the only one that can help you make it through such enormous pain. And as I sit here with my nephew, my godson here, my niece, that's right, I want my godson to share with you some of his thoughts. And I asked him yesterday, I asked him a good question. I asked him, I said, what good do you think can come out of keeping children off the street? And here's what my godson Demarion has to say.
I think it's a great idea because when young kids my age have too much time on their hands with no outlet, they start to wander and into negative acts that end up in violence and killing.
That's right, Demarion. And I'm so proud of you. My godson, he's a beautiful example to young men, young children, our youth. He loves sports. He loves boxing. He loves basketball. He loves football. He's a businessman. He loves to communicate and interact. So if we can get children at this young age, my little beautiful niece sitting here, to come together and sit and talk about our society and stop killing, guns down, stop killing, live today. That's right. We can make a better tomorrow because they are our future. My plan and my family's plan and people that I'm working with in the communities all over is to come together and make intervention. Now we know that in life situations happen where people get caught in bad situations. Sometimes they may not be a bad person. It may be a bad situation that they're in. So my objective is to bridge the gap between somebody making a bad decision. How can I help this person? How can I reach you? How can I touch you? Everybody has a soul. And I just want to know, how can we get to you? So before you commit a senseless crime, you can talk to somebody. You can come to an outlet, a resource center that can help. And that's what we're setting up. With Rayner Entertainment, Mark A. Rayner Scholarship Fund, we are making interventions for people. If you can't pay your bill, maybe you're hungry, maybe somebody's told you no before you even stepped in the door. We're here to say that we're going to help you. You don't have to do something bad in order to be able to pay your bills, or whatever the case may be. Now, we know that we can't stop everything from happening because we help somebody today, because next week they may need something again. However, it is our belief, and we know that if we make some changes, and if we help one person, help that one person, maybe that one person that thought about picking up a gun may not even pick it up. Or maybe that one person that picked up that gun may put that gun down because somebody cares. Somebody said yes when others said no. So know and understand that whatever situation you're in, there's help for you. We know that there's people with issues that may be medical issues or mental illness, all these types of things. And some people that just choose to do bad things. Now, I'm not saying that we can reach everybody. Again, I know that if we come together collectively, we can form a bond and bring the love back, because it's all about loving someone, getting rid of the hate. And I know that's a big word. I know that's something big to say, but we can do it because we take little steps.
I can say.
That's right, sweetheart.
It's my turn.
That's right.
It's my turn.
Exactly, sweetheart. That's right, honey. And with that being said, we have to make these steps today. We can't wait until tomorrow. We can't think that this is their problem. This is his problem or her problem. It'll never happen to me. We can't think that way. We're all human beings. We all hurt. We all have feelings. We all love. We all cry. We all have good days and bad days. But one thing about killing someone, you can never come back from that. You can never take that back. You can never say, I'm sorry. A good example to me is when my brother's killer was convicted. And I always say this. Special Agent Paul Source was inspirational in convicting my brother's killer. And it brought so much solace to my mother and I, and my nephew Mark Jr., because we felt that justice was served. In the courtroom, the judge was so good to me to let me stand and speak to this individual and pour my feelings out. At a young age, I had so much to say. My brother and I were so close. He was my protector, my mentor, my hero. So for my brother, I had to stand strong. Again, like my mother has raised us, I had to stand strong. And I would have it no other way, because I'm honoring my big brother. And that's the way that he would do it. So when I was able to say what I had to say to that individual, I remember the first day we came to court, he was still thinking that he wanted to say something and be tough and say something to make everybody else feel that he was that person. By the next time I seen that individual in the courtroom in Ann Arbor, Michigan, he had crumbled. So what it goes to show you, crime does not pay. This individual, he felt that he took my brother's life. God had plans for my brother's life. No individual can determine any of it. So God had plans for my big brother. And that day in the courtroom, the individual wanted to say that he was sorry. He wanted to say, I beg for your forgiveness. Now at that time, I was very young, and that's not something that I was even thinking about accepting. And I just could not. And I knew that God knows my heart. He knows what type of person I am. And I say all that to say, when a situation comes where you do commit a crime and the judge sentences you with life or whatever you're sentenced with, you crumble at that point in time. So before you pick up that gun, ask yourself, when I'm caught, because you always get caught when you do bad things to bad people. It always comes back around. That's just the way it is. So the thing is to not make these bad decisions, not to take someone's life, not to kill. Guns down. Stop killing. Live today. So as I watched that individual walk out of the courtroom, he could not look me in my eyes. He could not look me in my face. And that's what I wanted, was for him to look me eye to eye. Everybody in the courtroom was wearing my brother's t-shirts that said victory. And it was victory. And as the individual walked away with his head hung down, he had crumbled, he had folded, and he had to face life in prison, in federal prison, resulting in his own demise in prison. So I say that my brother's story, my brother's life, is a testimony for so many people. And what I've done, my family and I, and people that we work with in the community, for the youth, like my godson Damarian, the youth, like my niece Eliana Harris. This is a boxer slash basketball player. He does it all. This is a singing star. She's an actor. She says she's a rock star. She has plans. They have futures. And so we're here to protect these futures. That's right. And so what we have to do as people, the world has to come together. It's an American situation. It's a worldly situation. Worldwide. We have family all over the world. Friends all over the world. So this is happening everywhere. When you look at these mass shootings, children being shot and killed in schools, people coming out to have a grand time at clubs, innocent people being shot and massacred and killed. What is really going on here? And the question to that is, we have to make a change. We have to stop this from happening. It's enough to just say, oh, it has to stop. What are we going to do? So what I'm asking is for community leaders, activists, youth, to come together and forge a bond for life. Because everybody has loved ones. And it can easily happen to your loved one. And what we want to do is to stop that from happening. My mother and I, we talk all the time, my mother Regina. And my mother is my greatest inspiration. My brother as well. Growing up, she gave us the foundation that we needed to grow. She taught us to be strong, to look out for each other. My big brother, he was always there for me. She taught us to go after our dreams, and whatever we chose to do in our life, she would be right there to make it happen. She was right there at our side. So we never had to look to our left or our right and wonder where is our mother, because she has always been there. She's always been hands-on. So when you're blessed to have that in your life, you can flourish. There's nothing that you can't do. So everything that I've done in my life, it's a purpose. The purpose has led me to where I am today through my singing career, through singing and writing songs and doing all the things that I've done. My psychology studies, helping people. My mother and father adopted several children. And my mother always looked at a child as, this is just a beautiful child. When people would tell her, this child has a past. Well, everybody does. This is the baby we're talking about. This is God's child. What happened to this child wasn't his or her fault. That's right. It's an unfortunate situation, but my mother was there when the biological parents couldn't do what they needed to do for their child. My mother raised 14 children or more to be great individuals. Now, when they grow up, they may take the path that they choose. And that's in everything we do in life. That's with everybody. But none of them turned out to be murderers. None of them did anything like that, bad, that would say this is a bad person. So what my mother did for her children, was gave them a foundation and let them know that I'm going to give you room to grow and I'm going to be here. And it started from my brother and I, and then my mother, she flourished. And, you know, it's just a garden of life. Everything that my mother has ever instilled in us, we continue to this day. And even me sitting here right now, with doing all the things that we're doing, with the Mark Rayner Academy of Boxing, for children, for professionals, for amateurs, for anyone who's health conscious of all ages. This gym is a gym that will enable people to come, leave their stresses behind. Resource center as well. I will have staff. We will have staff that if you're having a bad day, if you feel like there's something that you're on edge about, we'll have staff to talk to you and comfort you and maybe deter you from making that bad decision or a bad move that would destroy your life and destroy somebody else's life. So with all of these resources, and the Mark Renner Scholarship Fund is something that is so wonderful because it helps the children. It helps them to be able to fund their amateur, if it's boxing, whatever it is that they love, it's funded. And we have, we take donations. Anybody that would like to help and be a part, we are so happy. We embrace you with open arms because it's about the youth. It's about the children. It's about the children right here and all the ones in the world. And so that's what we want to focus on. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. And that's the focus. So this is part one of our discussion. And we'll be back to talk more about this. It will be continued. And I thank you all for listening. Thank you, Godson. You are so precious. I love you so much. And you mean so much to the world. You are our youth. You are our future. And with young men like you, we know that you can be anything that you want to be. And you set a grand example for the youth to see. You're a role model. And I love you. Niece, you are a beautiful young lady. You're talented. You have so much love in your heart. You are our future. You're a star. And you love. Don't we love? It's about love. We can't be heartless. We can't be cold. We have to love each other. Embrace each other. So that everybody can live. No mothers have to cry. No children have to be left without their parents. No brothers, no sisters, no fathers, uncles, aunts, grandparents. We don't want to see people crying. We don't want them to live through the hurt and the pain and the anguish. Because I had to do that. My mother, my family, my nephew, Mark Jr., everybody, all of my family. We had to endure the pain of losing my brother, as well as so many other loved ones in my family and in all of our families, all over the world. So what we do, we reach out and we touch. We show love. We don't deal with hate by showing hate. The only way to combat hate is love. And love is of God. My mother has always taught me that. Love is of God, and we have to keep the faith and know that with God, all things are possible. But we work for God. So we have to do the best that we can do, be the best people that we can be to make this positive change happen. We can do it, can't we? You guys think we can do it? Yes. I know we can do it as well. Guns down. Stop killing. Live today. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We love you all. And we're all about happiness and life. That's right, sweetheart. Thank you.
Stop killing. Live today.
Oh, beautiful.